Welcome back to the Blue Wave Talk Show. I'm your host, Shelley Marie, and I'm here with Miss Isha and LaNee here on the end. And we are going to talk about some more business because that was a hot topic on the last segment. And Isha, I know you work with a lot of growing entrepreneurs, and I'm just curious, what are some of the biggest challenges that you're seeing with them?
I'll tell you, hands down, when I look at the biggest struggle that people who are either starting businesses or even folks that have been at this thing for a while, it's always fear.
Fear of what?
Fear. Sometimes it's the fear of failure. Even more often, it's the fear of success.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fear of success. I mean, how do you even identify that? Like, who says they're scared to win?
Nobody does.
Okay.
And that's the crazy thing about it. But how it shows up is, you have this great idea and you just don't do anything with it. And then so you just say, oh, I'm just a procrastinator. Oh, I'm not good at this. So you make up all these other reasons for why you're not moving forward on things. But if you dissect it, for a lot of folks, it's really the fear of success because you're thinking about, okay, when I blow up, because you know you're going to,
right.
You know that what you've got is golden, but you start thinking about, well, how is my life going to change? Are people going to expect me to always be on? What if I make a mistake? What if I don't know the answer? What if the people around me change and I don't have friends anymore? Nobody wants to date me anymore because now, I'm in this upper echelon and of unreachable and, am I going to be single? So all these different things that people start to associate with the way that their life may change or not being able to live up to a certain expectation if they succeed keeps a lot of people from moving forward.
Well, how do you get over that? Like, first of all, you have to identify it. And that's a thing that you, I guess, can identify. I wouldn't be able to do that. But even then, after you've figured it out and you determine what the issue is, how do you fix fear of failure? That's huge.
Yeah. The fear of failure, one of the biggest issues, and I mean, this even comes back to the fear of success too, is we like predictability. Mm-hmm. We want to know, and this goes back to the way that we even teach our kids in school. 1 + 1 = 2, and it's always going to equal 2. And if you say it equals 3, you get a big red mark. You're wrong. You're a failure. That's horrible. And so it just conditions us to not be willing to not have the predictable outcome all the time.
Not to do the math or the 1 + 1 = 2. Not to be, what is that? Like, what's the right word? Not to be predictable.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
have the correct answer all the time.
Yeah. And entrepreneurship is not predictable.
It's
at least not at
not.
first. You get to a point where it becomes predictable after you figure out the right equation.
But it takes a little while to figure out that
and we
equation.
don't like that.
Right.
We don't want to know if I step out and do this, it may not work. And then what are people going to say?
Yes.
Are they going to laugh at me? Right. Are they going to say, see, there she goes again. This is her third business. She's always doing something different. And, I knew that stuff wasn't going to work. Her little business. And we're so
and they
afraid.
do say that. Just for the record, they do. It's hurtful. I mean,
that.
we take it. We take that, but
if you really want to know how to make me mad, refer to somebody's business as little.
Business.
You can be a small business.
I'm like, that will get you cut.
But don't say little. You're little. I mean, because it's just condescending.
It's very condescending.
I can't stand that. But so not being able to predict the outcome. So many folks, if I can't predict it, I don't want to do it.
Yep.
And if there's a chance that I may look stupid, I'm not going to do it. And so they don't even step out and take the chance or take the risk.
My grandmother used to always say, scared money don't make money.
Yes.
That was her thing. Like, if you're going to do it, you need to go full forth and push it all the way to the limit. Don't do that half-ass thing where you're like, I'm gonna do it a little bit. Well, maybe not. I'm gonna invest some of my money, but not all my time. You have to go with it. Like, it's a lottery ticket, and you have to be willing to bet on yourself to win.
Yeah. It's like being in a relationship. Okay, I'm going to be halfway committed. I'm going to date you on Tuesday and Thursday and every other Saturday, but I'm not going to put a ring on your finger. I'm not going to commit to you. I'll just date you when I feel like it. And a lot of people are doing that with their businesses. And so if you're, like you just said, if you're just kind of halfway toeing the water, you're not going to reap the benefits of that full commitment.
Hey. I don't even want to talk about putting the ring on it and all that stuff.
That's a whole other issue.
Your part-time boyfriend, part-time girlfriend, hey, it works for some people. But as far as relationships and building those relationships and building the business and building the brand, it all takes 110% commitment. Like, time management was a huge thing for me. Again, going back to trying to juggle, family life and personal life and 2 jobs and and all these things. And that was a huge thing for me. But I never looked at it as a fear of its success. But there was a huge thing for fear of failure. And sometimes for me, it was hard to determine when I need to scale back. Like, Shelley, you're just trying to prove a point. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what happens, I'm going to win, and no matter what it takes. But sometimes, you have to know when to take a step back and kind of look at things again, or reprioritize, or whatever we're going to use to kind of gauge it and say, okay, you're going down the wrong road.
Yeah.
Like, somebody needs this. And that's why you have a team of people, the moguls, that say, hey, shawty, you going the wrong way. You said you wanted to sell cupcakes. Why are you over there with mud pies? Like, it's
or chicken.
Because
somebody told me I should, because they said they don't make a lot of money.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a vote. Everybody has a say, and that's great. And we love to hear that. And as an entrepreneur, you want to hear that type of feedback, but you have to be able to decipher through everybody else's BS and your true goals and aspirations of what it is you want to do. Yeah. So, what are your suggestions on staying focused and not falling into the traps of fear of failure, the procrastination and all that?
When it comes down to fear, whether it's fear of failure or fear of success, it comes down to asking yourself, what am I afraid of?
Right.
And just keep asking yourself that until you get to the root of it. So literally, if you give yourself a piece of paper, fold it in half, you can do this exercise on paper. This exercise is actually even in my book. But on one side of it, just think, okay, what am I afraid of? Oh, I'm afraid that if I launch this, it may fail. Okay, and what happens if it fails? Okay, I might lose some money. And then what happens if you lose that money? And I mean, just keep working it down till you get to the root of what is the worst of the worst of the worst that could happen. Now, on the flip side of that, on the other side of the piece of paper, then ask yourself, okay, well, if I'm successful, what could happen? And then literally start listening. Okay, and then if that happens, then what? And then if that happens, then what? And just compare lists. And if you can look at that list and say, okay, when I look at the best that could happen and I look at the worst that could happen, am I willing to take the risk at hitting the worst to accomplish the best? And if the answer is yes, then you need to move forward.
I think that's a good little exercise to do. Ooh, I said little, but you know what I mean. I think it's a good exercise to kind of really think about what it is that you're scared of, to drill down on what it is that ticky boom, like you're going to explode, you're going to lose your mind, you lose your house, or you're just not going to be the same person if XYZ happened. Right. And then when you put it on paper, it's crazy how the intimidation factor is over. Like, oh, you were scared of what? Like, I ain't scared of nothing. But then you start writing out, it's like, what? I'm scared of.
Yeah. But it takes that fear of the unknown out of it. Because now you know all the bad things that could happen. I know.
I had a fear of success. Mm-hmm. So I can relate to the fear of success. And it does sound weird. But my biggest fear with Cosire, I imagined it and I thought about it 10 years ago. Mm. And so it's taken 10 years for me to actually get it out of myself. I wrote it out and I sent it to myself in Yahoo. Yahoo's been around forever. I sent it to myself in Yahoo and I would pull it out like once a year, just look at it and then write it, send it back to myself, pull it out, write on it, send it back to myself. And it wasn't until maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I pulled it out and I was like, I need to do this. Mm-hmm. I need to just make it real. And I had to figure out what am I so afraid of? Like, this can really happen. Why aren't I doing it? And so it was fear of success. What if this really does do good? Then what? How is that going to change? What is that going to do for my family? Are my friends still going to be my friend? I mean, and it sounds like it's the weirdest thing, but it really was, fame, celebrity. How is that going to change me? Will it change me? Will people come in and attack me? Yeah. They're going to start attacking my family. And it seems so weird to think about it's business. Mm-hmm. Why do all of these things matter? Because that's what happens in the world. People attack you. Yeah. They attack your family. They're going to dig in your past and your history. They want to know every mistake you've ever made. Some stuff you might not be proud of. Right. And so for me, my real thing was fear of success. What if somebody finds out I'm not who I say I am, or I've started out down the wrong road mm-hmm. and I've changed my life. Now they're going to bring all those things up against mm-hmm. me. That was my biggest fear. Mm-hmm. And then I got to a place where God was like, it's your testimony. Yeah, Don't be afraid of your journey. Yes. Where you started from to where you are today. That's your testimony. Mm-hmm. You still need to go out there and be successful because it's part of your story. Yeah. And so first I had to sit down and do that. These are the things. And then identify fear of success. not even afraid of falling. Like I knew when I do it, it's going to be great. But God, I'm afraid to do it and be great.
Yeah.
So you said you took it, you kind of played with this idea for 10 years. What was finally the catalyst that said, okay, now's the time. Now I'm going to do it. What was it?
I wish, you know what? I don't even have a real answer for that. I think when I pulled it out and it became clear. I guess I'll say that. It became clear. Before it was just random thoughts. So they were just things that were in my head that I kept pulling out and writing down and pulling out and writing down. And then I named it. So now it was tangible. Now it was actually something. And then I started dreaming about it. Thoughts start coming to me in the night. I start seeing things and I was like, you know what? I can incorporate that and I can make these things work. And then it was real. And then it was, you know what? I'm about to do this. Like this can really, this could be something.
Okay, random question, because I'm one of these people that have these crazy dreams in the middle of the night. Do you keep a journal on the side of your bed?
I don't. And I don't remember my dreams.
Oh, see? What's that about?
I don't remember my dreams. I don't keep a journal. I've been trying to journal. I know people say you should journal. I journal in my weakest moments, which is probably weird because most people write when they're the strongest. I journal when I'm the weakest so that when I am in my stronger moments, I go back and see what are the things I'm afraid of. Yeah. And then I talk to myself about those things. When I'm strong, I don't need to be picked up when I'm already feeling strong. But when I'm not feeling strong or I'm having a bad day or something isn't going the way I want it to go, I'll go read that and I'll be like, I'm bigger than this, or I'm better than this, or I can fix this. And I can live from that as opposed to just going back and reading all the good stuff about me. Because I'm good. I really am.
She's pretty fabulous. Just saying.
So I like to go and see where are my cracks at? Where are my flaws? Where are the things that I need to work on? Where are my fears? Yeah. What am I afraid of other people saying?
Yeah. I do the same thing. I mean, because if you look at my journal, it is just, okay, God, you told me to do this and it's not working. And so I need you to show up. I mean, it's just, it is. It's a mess. But the thing that I love so much is to go and then pull out a journal from 3 years ago.
Right.
Yes. From 5 years ago. From when I was in corporate America saying, okay, God, if you would just please get me out of here. And I would do this. And I don't care. You can take the house. You can take the car. You can have it all. I just need to get out of here. And I want to do this thing that you're putting in my heart. And then when all those things that I was like, you can take this, you can take that. And then it was like, oh, I really got to give up the house?
Right, like,
I really got to give up the car?
Yeah, why did I say give up cable? Why did I Dang. Why just started a little bit lower on the luxury items.
I gave up my nails.
I can still stand behind that and say it was worth it.
Well, it was worth it. I'm glad it was worth it. Did you give up your nails, Phyllis?
Yes, and see, I'm from California, which may not have anything to do with anything.
It
You're
does.
from California, but
it does.
I've been getting my nails done since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I've got my cosmetology license. I can do my own nails. I get my nails done every 2 weeks, nails and toes, religiously. I may not be able to feed my baby. I'm just joking. But I'm going to get my nails and toes done. Like, that's serious. It's $75 a month, $100 a month. So to give that up, it doesn't seem like it's a lot. But for me, it was huge because hands are a part of who you are.
Yeah.
And I talk with my hands.
Yeah.
So having my hands not be, manicured, and that's huge to me. So that's a huge sacrifice. Cable, I can give that one up fast. This was serious.
Cable.
This was serious business. And even when I see people, they're like, you don't have your nails done anymore. No, it had to go.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time. You guys know I cater, so there's no getting your nails done with that, because the last thing you want to do is eat somebody's nail when you're that's disgusting.
Or nail polish.
Because nail polish is gross.
I've been cutting up stuff and chop off, and these are my nails, but I chop off end of my fingernail, and
it happens.
You don't want that in the macaroni and cheese.
No,
nails and salt.
Just saying, pick one, choose one. Just saying, what would you rather have? We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. The fear of failure has definitely been something that's kind of touched on me, just because I am competitive and I come from a very competitive family, and I just want to win no matter what. You know how the song goes, but I'm glad that you're kind of giving those kind of tips and advice. And again, the moguls in training, you need to get in on that so you don't have these same stories and you don't have to make the same errors, mistakes, and have your own testimony without that. We're going to give you the edited version of whatever that is. So we're definitely going to excited to hear about that. What else we have about fear? Nothing. We're good on fear. I think we're good. Fear's bad. Fear's evil. Okay,
get over it.
Don't be scared.
Do what God told you to do.
God told you to do. This is Shelley Marie with Blue Wave Talk Show. We'll be back in a little bit. See you soon.